Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter when we may be catching this particular broadcast out to these bells. Here, your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. Host of the hashtag Speak Easy podcast and that thing. Okay. Oh, that thing, that thing. I'm excited I missed you guys. I missed you guys. So I'm excited to be back. I had a week full of appointments, and man, oh man, been out here in these streets, ripping and running. Uh, and you guys know, whenever I come back, we got some things to talk about because we're gonna go all the way in. Let me just make sure that you guys can see it. Make sure I change the privacy settings and that you can hear. Yes, you can. Okay, great. So here's the thing. I had to make some changes. I had to do some things in my business. I had some appointments. Thank you for those who were sending out prayers for the appointments. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. When everything was a-okay, went through all everything, all that good stuff. That part. The webcam still has not come in yet, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Y'all know there's been some delays and stuff going on with some of the shipments going out, but no worries, because guess what? We here. We we here. Excited. So I had to come and talk about this particular um, topic because what does it really mean to endure to the end? Like real talk. So many people, we kind of fantasize what the end will look like. We fantasize about what the end will feel like, but we haven't really understood the assignment. Because enduring to the end means I have to stop fantasizing about what the end is going to look like. Enduring to the end means that I need to be putting the energy in what I'm doing right here at the moment. And so it's interesting because, again, we get so caught up in the results. We get so caught up in the goal. We get so caught up in what the finish line will look like that we forget to pay attention to the here and the now. And I did a quick message this morning over on Soundwave. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, good morning, sis. Um, because I really needed people to have this understanding. We fantasize about tomorrow. We do. We fantasize so much about tomorrow, what tomorrow will bring, what we could possibly do tomorrow. We spend money that we're supposed to get before we get it. I mean, literally, we go and we put so much emphasis on what the end result will be. Good morning to Keisha. Hey, sis. And so we're meant to endure to the end. We're not meant to fantasize about the end. We're meant to endure to the end. We're not meant to get high off of, those expectations and things of that nature. I'm going to tell you what happens. For so many I've seen, there are, and it happens over and over and over again. And unfortunately, there are actually coaches who are promoting this. Is you get so excited about the bigger name, you get so excited about the exposure, you get so excited about all of these things, right? That you miss the moment. Come on. Michelle said, look, look, Michelle said, I try to stop fantasizing. It's a setup for disappointment, in my opinion, IMO. And it is. When God said in Matthew 24:13, but the one who endures to the end will be saved, he was speaking in the context of, and many false prophets will appear and will deceive people. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. And the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world, so that all nations will hear it, and then the end will come. He was telling you, well, the one who endures will be saved. The main focus was supposed to be endurance. Y'all better catch this morning. The main focus was supposed to be endurance. The main focus was not supposed to be the end. Come on. Jerry said it. Enduring till the end, pressing through the rain, storms, and fires of life, no matter what. We were supposed to focus on the endurance, not focus on the end. And so when we focus on the endurance, some of us have gone and we've put so much energy in what the end will look like that we have no energy for today. And so people wake up tired, they wake up frustrated, they wake up ready to quit, they wake up ready to give it all up. They wake up and they're drained and they can't even focus on today because the focus has been put on the end result. So much so that we get high and drunk off of doing vision boards and don't create a strategy to actually fulfill the things on the board. To the point where we will have somebody tell us to make a profit plan, right? We're going to have a profit plan because we're going to make this amount of money for this year. And then no real expectations for my day-to-day actions in order to make that a reality. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from what I've endured. I'm speaking from what I've had to heal from and overcome. And I literally see people falling down this trap on a regular basis. And so vision boards are great because you're about to start see vision board parties in the next probably month. You're about to see all these vision board parties come up. You're about to see people talk about, hey, have you started doing your goals for 2022? Have you started your New Year's resolution? Have you started this? Have you started writing this down? You're about to see all of this in excess, and literally, like it's going to be everywhere you turn. You're going to see it. But are they really taking you through the steps? Are they teaching you how to focus on the things that are going to make sure that you're in preparation right now for even when you achieve those things? Because some of you, we put down, making the six figures, making the seven figures. That's great. But then we don't even have good money habits. And so if we do make the six figures, if we do make the seven figures, we won't even be able to hold on to it. It'll be like water running through our hands. There are some people that make six figures now and they still miserable because they still have nothing to show for it. And so enduring to the end is about my daily habits. Enduring to the end is about my conversations that I have with myself in my mind. Enduring to the end is about literally what am I doing every day that's making me greater, not grumpy. That's making me greater, not frustrated. That's making me greater, not jealous. Because one of the things that happens when we so focused on the end result and not really on just building up the endurance is that we're quick to be jealous when we see someone achieve the goal that we are trying to achieve because we feel like they got it easy. Come on. We feel like enduring to the end for some people is just as easy. Come on. Listen, Michelle said, I'm just trying to get through the week. Listen, go ahead, Michelle. Congratulations. Y'all congratulate Michelle in the comments. I am so proud of you, sis. She passed her real estate exam. Go ahead, sis. You know that was on the prayer list. Super excited for you, sis. It is. It's and we go and here's the thing. I wish endurance was just a pill that we could swallow. I wish it was. I wish endurance was just a pill that we could swallow and then it just happened, right? That's not how endurance is made. Endurance, there is a breaking that has to occur in order for us to endure. Because literally, if not, we will allow our body to get to a point where we plateau. And that may be some of you right now. Some of you right now are at that plateau. You've been trying and trying. You haven't been able to make any sales. You haven't been able to do, like, you've been sitting at a desk trying to write a book. You haven't been able to write the book. Or you've hit this plateau and you don't understand why it seems like everywhere you turn, nothing is working for you. And it's because we got to get back to what are you doing to build your endurance? What did you have to break in order for you to build your endurance? Some of you are still doing the same exact habits that you're doing in your business or in your life or in your personal life, in relationships, in your health, in your mindset, in your spiritual walk. You're still doing the same exact habits that you were doing 5 and 10 years ago. But you're not even the same person you were 5 or 10 years ago. Building endurance means that I have to put in the work to be able to handle the level I'm on. Building endurance means that I have to put in the work in order to handle the situation that is in front of me. Building endurance means that I got to get stronger. Come on. Building endurance is so much bigger than what I do one time. Building endurance requires repetition. And if I'm unable to repeat those things, then I'll end up starting over again and again and again. And some of you, it's that same hamster wheel that you've been on where you feel like every year you're restarting a business. You feel like every year you're redoing something. Every year you're trying to find ways to find your client. Every year you're rebranding. You find every year that you're doing something. Here's the thing. God teaches us that when we go ahead and we do what is necessary to be in the position where we can endure to the end, he'll give us what we need. Like the reason why you got to keep going and tweaking things is because you have not sat down and built up the endurance in that area to go full force. You haven't built up the strength you needed in that area to go full force. And so all you've been doing is taking baby steps in a season when you should have been able to run. Come on. And you got to listen. And Michelle said it. She said that there were nights she cried because of it. I've literally seen women and men get so frustrated. And they're looking at me going, how is it that you almost have 400 episodes of the podcast? How is it that you have 20 books published now? How is it that you have this? How is it? I don't understand. And I always got to go back and say, it was a matter of me building up my endurance. A lot of the things that y'all went through in business, I went through the same thing. I went through bad deals. I went through having my name dragged through the mud. I went through people walking away from me. I went through all types of stuff. I went through people stealing ideas. I went through people not valuing who I was. I went through all of those things. All of those same things. Many people are going through this same exact thing. The difference is I had to learn how to build endurance so that way I could endure to the end. Here's the thing. You're so focused on the end in one area, God is telling you that you're missing the mark because you're so focused on the end in one area, you can't even focus on the right now in another. Come on. Good morning, Eureka. That's why we see people who build up these amazing businesses and then their marriage falls apart. We see people build up have these amazing careers, but they're dealing with all of these different demons and they're dealing with all of these drug addiction and all this. They're dealing with all of these things because the endurance has not been built up. What are you doing every day to build up your endurance? Good morning, Sean. Hey, sis. What are you doing every day to build up your endurance? I'm sitting and I'm looking and I'm going, wow, God. All right. I see why he said I need to start walking every day. He said, because I got you about to do something different. You're about to be back on stages. I need you to build up your endurance. And so, yeah, I need you to do 10,000 steps. It's so much bigger than that. I need you to build up your endurance. Can I be honest with you? I just got an opportunity. I don't know if I'm accepted or not, but for a speaking opportunity in Jersey. And it was crazy because I was like, wow, yeah, we really are in a space where we're getting back to standing on stages. Here's the thing, the opportunity is for like a 3 hour training, 3 hours, not a 1 hour training, not a 30-minute speech, 3 hours. So yeah, God having me go and start walking every day and doing 10,000 steps every day. Yeah, and then I get this opportunity that says, "Hey, this is a 3-hour training and we're looking for a motivational speaker." Some of you have been praying for opportunities, but you don't even have the endurance to be able to accomplish the thing if you got it. Come on. Look, Michelle said, if I can endure him for that many years, I can listen, bring it on. Bring it on. And I go back and it's so funny because one of the things that I said to my oldest daughter, and I said to my sister circle as well. I said, wow, I've literally been taking care of people all my life. From middle school all the way up. After school and middle school, I would go take care of my grandmother until she passed away. Um, my mother, while in high school, my mother started getting sick. Uh, and so I was taking care of my mother. I was helping to take care of my siblings. And then when I moved out, I was only by myself for a short amount of time before me and my ex-husband were together. And then I had my first child, and it's just been all of that. I said, wow. But I built up the endurance during those seasons and those times for me to be able to care for the women that he is bringing before me. And so while other people are going and they're connecting with people and they don't care about the actual clients that they have, God built me different. Right, Eureka? Look. God built me different. He made me go through seeing my mother in a nursing home for 3 years and having to endure traveling from Maryland to Philadelphia and then watching her take her last breath. He had me endure watching my siblings grow up and get older, and even though me wanting to be able to support them in everything that they do, me not being able to because they were still individuals and had to make their own decisions. It hurt like heck, but it was the endurance and it was literally what I had to go through to get to the point. People don't understand. They say, how can you work with women who have been through trauma? It's because I've lived it. How come you don't get frustrated if a woman walks away and she still isn't walking in her purpose? Because I understand what that looks like. I understand the assignment. This gonna hurt for some of y'all. For some of you, the assignment is simply to plant the seed. Come on, come on. For some of you, the assignment is to water the seed. For some of you, the assignment is to go and to be the one to till the ground. Some of you, it is literally meant to just go and pluck up the harvest. But because you have not built endurance, you're looking at the person that's meant to pluck up the harvest and seeing what they've been able to do, but that was not your assignment. And so jealousy rises up. Misunderstandings. Now we feel as though we have to go and defend ourselves and defend our purpose. And the thing is, if you look back, you'll look and see that God was teaching you the endurance that you needed for right now. So if you were only meant to plant the seeds, there are women that I've connected with where I was only supposed to plant the seeds. It hurt like heck to have to go through the whole process of them coming into the program, going through the program, me praying with them, praying for them, planting the seed, and then them no longer being there. And me thinking, did I do something wrong? What? Listen, exactly. You feel like nobody paying attention, like you in this by yourself. You're not in this by yourself. But because you have not built up the endurance, you out here going and just now you going and attaching yourself to just any old body because you haven't built up the endurance. You don't realize the strength that you have on the inside because you haven't built it up. Because you haven't built it up. Hmm. You haven't built it up. And it's interesting because Eureka said, the surgeon, I'm laughing. So I had my appointments this week. I had to get some tests run uh, because of some things that my doctor found last week, the week before, and so I had to make some appointments, and my appointments were this week. So EKG, echo. I had to do my regular mammogram as well, and I was just like, okay, all right, God, like. First of all, I don't do hospitals like that. So uh my last stint at a hospital was me literally being like I've had to go to the emergency room every once and again, but being in the actual hospital building to do much of anything. Every once and again have like blood work, but the last real time that I actually had to spend time in a hospital was when my mother was in the hospital. And that was back in like 2011. So that's not my life. But I go in, and even for the mammogram, I go in, I make sure I'm in the right space. I have to give them the paperwork. Everybody in there has their assignments. So the woman at the desk is the woman that signs you in. She makes sure that you're fully registered. She makes sure that the insurance is right, all your information is right date of birth, all of that. And then she takes you into a room and she tells you, here's your gown. And she has you in the she tells you to change. And you have to wait for the person that is going to actually do the mammogram. You don't want the person at the front desk doing the mammogram because that's not her assignment. I need y'all to catch this. When we have not built up our endurance in what it is we are supposed to do, we are mishandling our assignments. So if the woman that was at the front desk attempted to take me into the room and do the mammogram, that was not her assignment. And therefore, I would have not gotten a proper reading because that was not her assignment. Michelle said, "Ooh, I caught it." Come on. That was not her assignment. When you have not built up the endurance, what happens is they always talk about shiny object syndrome. The same thing happens with purpose. People get shiny object syndrome when it comes to purpose. And so when you haven't built up the endurance when it comes to your own purpose, you'll go and see the shininess of somebody else's purpose and jump into their purpose thinking that that is something you're meant to do. Every woman that comes out of a domestic violent relationship is not meant to help other women out of domestic violent relationships. Because they don't have the endurance for it. They have the experience. There's some other areas that they may be able to help in, but that's not everybody's assignment. Every person's assignment is not necessarily to have a book. You may have a story to tell, but is that how God told you to tell your story? Have you built up the endurance in the purpose that you have, in the strengths that you have, in the wisdom that you have? When we build up the endurance for the wisdom we have, you won't get caught off guard by FOMO. You won't think that you need all of these different things simply because somebody told you you needed it, right? You won't be caught up in the hype. There are so many people that get caught up in the hype because they haven't built up their endurance. And so the next thing is going to catch their attention. The next person that says they have a class is going to catch their attention. I knew I was different when it came to coaching women, when it came to um, the conversations I was having, when I would be happy for, to see other people succeeding, even after we were no longer connected. I would still celebrate people. I would still congratulate them. I would. I would still congratulate them. I would still share out their stuff. It was funny because of where they were, they could not accept the type of person that I was. And that hurt on my end because I had to understand the person that I was. And so part of that endurance is, so I'll give an example. I'm somebody, I'm rooting for you. When I tell you we here, and I'm rooting for you for real. It take a lot for me to step back and really like distance myself from people. When I distance myself, I'm done. I'm gone. People didn't understand that. And that I was being um they thought that, me congratulating them, they felt some type of way about it. Like they could not handle that because, and I had to learn this because that's not on me. That's on them. Part of building your endurance is learning that you need to stop taking on the emotions of other people. We need to stop carrying everybody else's baggage. And so even when you apologize, everybody's not going to accept it. Even when you're genuine and going and actually celebrating people, everybody's not going to be able to handle it. And it was hard, but I had to build up the endurance to understand, God, when you close a door, I don't need to be at the door shaking and trying to break it down. It was closed for a reason. I stopped. It took me some time, but I stopped because that's part of the endurance that has to be built up. I have to build up the endurance for me to be able to see a closed door and walk past it and be okay with it. That's healing. Everybody ain't got that healing. Everybody ain't went through that process. Come on. And so I had to learn those things, that was part of the endurance that I had to go through. People will go and they will highlight and celebrate you one day, and then they will tear you down and rip you apart the next. Come on. Good morning, Joanna. Joanna, hi, sis. Listen, I had to learn that was the endurance that I had to go ahead and build up. And once I built up that endurance, I'm going to tell y'all something. I got so much peace, y'all. Endure to the end. God didn't tell us to endure to the end and be stressed out. Joy, peace, love, self discipline. Like he gave us all these things. He didn't tell us to be stressed out. Like that wasn't the reason why he said endure to the end. No, I got so much peace, y'all. Y'all want to know what I did yesterday? This, and live streamed on Amazon and laughed with my family and yeah, like even with my appointments this week. Y'all want to know the funny that I had this week? Okay, so I told y'all I had appointments all week, y'all. Like this has been, whew. Okay, God, I need this part to hurry up and go by. But again, endurance. The woman, so I have favor wherever I go. Come on, come through favor, come through favor. Come on, come on. But I had to get an echo and an EKG done in their heart test. And so I go and I'm like, all right, God, I'm getting this echo done. I had to get blood work done. I got the echo done. And they're like, well, we have some openings. you can get the EKG today, so you don't have to come do it tomorrow when you come. And so I was like, okay, no problem. And so they just changed my appointment date, and I went ahead and did it. And so the woman is putting the little sticky things on me, and she's like, I need you to, lift up your shirt. And then she said, wait, do you have on a bra? Yo, I don't know why, but that tickled me so much. I laughed. I said, wait, what? She said, do you have on a bra? And I'm like, yes. Is that really a question you got to ask people when they come to get an EKG? Is it they got people out here flashing the people? Y'all, I giggled. Her and I had a good little laugh, and the EKG wasn't even that long, y'all. It's only like a 5-minute test. But when I tell y'all, I giggled so hard. I was in my mind going, I cannot be a doctor, a nurse of any kind, because people out here showing up at the hospital with no drawers and no bras on. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why that tickled me so much, but it did. Tickled me to a whole other, like, no end. But that's the type of, whereas other people would be stressed out and, they're like, oh, well, if I could have got a better appointment, then why didn't they get guys, come on. No, I'ma laugh and I'ma enjoy myself. They were doing the echo. I was watching the machine and the colors on it and all types of other stuff. I have peace. You either going to endure with peace or you going to endure with no peace. I choose peace each and every day. I went and was learning how to ride a skateboard this week. And yes, I fell. And yes, I fell. And I giggled so much. I didn't hit my head or anything. I didn't hurt myself. I'm good. Y'all, I'm good. But yes, I fell. But I choose peace. I'm a learn how to skateboard. I put together a tent for the very first time. That was a travesty. Joanna said, I am seeing that with the friends even now, but I know, no, yeah, I know about endurance. Come on. You got to have endurance. And here's the thing. Most of us thought that we were enduring something for somebody else. But the reality is that we were enduring things in order to strengthen ourselves. So we were enduring things and strengthening ourselves and getting stronger along the way for us. But what we also didn't realize is that somebody was watching us go through our go through, and it was teaching them how to endure too. Hmm. Come on. I know that's right, Michelle. She said, I took myself out last night. Yes, I have peace. Peace. Laughing, watching movies with my daughter, giggling. I have peace. Not everybody has peace. Come on. And I'm not about to look at somebody else's journey and somebody else's level of endurance and think that I have to live that life because I don't know what goes on behind that door. I don't know what's going on in that relationship. I stopped saying hashtag relationship goals well before we learned about entanglements. Okay. Certain attributes and certain things that we see in relationships are nice, but I don't know what their endurance looks like. Y'all better come on. Y'all better come on. But that tickled me, y'all. Look, Michelle said, listen, listen. You gotta no, you don't have to take them off anymore. Well, at least for the one I did. I didn't have to take mine off, thankfully. I haven't had to ah look. She said, I haven't been on a skateboard in years. Girl, I got on a skateboard and I was learning and I was going ahead and I'm all right. I'm moving a little bit. I'm doing a little something. That skateboard said, you gonna miss me when I'm going a mile. It was so funny because the direction I was facing was not even the direction that I fell. So I faced, like when I fell in the opposite, like I spun around, I smacked my hands on the ground. The skateboard kept going. Y'all, I can giggle, I can laugh about it. The skateboard kept going, y'all. And so the skateboard rolled past my sister and she turned around and was like, "What the heck?" And I was on the floor, was on the ground in the parking lot cracking up laughing, y'all. I right, exactly. We only see what they want us to see. We see what they posted up on Instagram. We see what they posted up on Facebook. I don't know what their endurance what they had to go through to endure to get to 50 years. I don't know what they had to endure to get to 5 years. And some people, let's talk about it because I told y'all I need peace. Some people they've been together for 10 years and ain't got no peace. Oh no, I need peace. I need peace. Oh, we got one near me too. Over at Glasgow Park in Delaware. That's the closest. Well, it's a little one here in town, but I don't trust it. Y'all know. Small towns are good for some things. Skate parks, I don't think is one of them. I mean, there's kids that go over there and use it, but I value my life. Y'all, I value my life. Look, look, come on, come on. Johanna said, Mama always told me never envy anyone for what they have because you didn't know how they got it. Listen, it could have been given to them. They could have had to put in a whole lot of work to get to where they are. Trust and believe. Again, before we even learned, because y'all know we was educated about what an entanglement meant. Before we were even hip to what an entanglement was, I had to stop saying it. And it was interesting because Pastor Mike Todd from Transformation Church in Oklahoma, he did a whole series on relationship goals. And I love the series that he did because he broke that thing down so freaking well. And it was so many things in relationships that people do not discuss, people do not understand because we see the pictures and the flashing lights. He is very transparent about the journey that him and his wife have been through, what they've had to endure, the bumps in the road, all of that stuff. And even I had to laugh because the current um the current series is help healing from. And so Pastor Tim Ross was speaking, and I love it because my daughter was here when he was speaking on this particular topic, and it was help I'm horny. But again, they broke down some things that people do not normally talk about. Because again, we want this facade. We think when the ring go on, everything's supposed to be perfect. Some of y'all thought when you got the LLC, everything was going to be perfect. The business come business come. Am I a millionaire yet? Wait. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. Millions come now. I don't know why I gotta add the clap, like the clapper. I don't know. That I just dated myself. Don't judge me. Millions come. Nope. No. Didn't happen. Okay. I'll do it like this. New clients. Assemble. Nope. Didn't any notifications come through? I don't think new. I didn't get any new notifications. Wait. Autobots. Roll out. No. But this is the thing. We thought, oh, somebody told us just get your LLC. Somebody told you get your DBE and other things so that way you can get government contracts. And you were like, yes, government contracts come. Not quite. Didn't happen. And you got crickets. And then because you weren't building up your endurance, now you stressed out. Because you like, well, what? No. Endure to the end. Matthew 24:13. I'm going to read it again. Because I need you to. This is the thing. You know how when something happens, you got to have words that you speak a thing. You know how when Jesus walked past the fig tree and it didn't have figs on it, he spoke to the root of it. I need you to speak to the root of this. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. You will be saved. Endure to the end. And so when things look a little hectic, I will endure to the end. Sometimes you got to say it out loud. Listen. Sometimes you got to say it out loud. I will endure to the end. The money didn't come in the way you thought it was going to come. I will endure to the end. Because see, sometimes some of those things are literally things to kind of test how strong your foundation is. I will endure to the end. Like the palm tree that bends but does not break, I will endure to the end. And you keep saying it until you get to the point where it is literally the first thing that comes to your mind when something happens. I will endure to the end. I will build up my endurance. Contract fell through, no problem. I will endure to the end. Because I never know what other opportunities are going to come. That part. That part. And so I get that we wish that it was easier. We wish we had, we could just snap it and everything just work out. But we really do have to learn how to endure. Come on, you better, Michelle, listen. Y'all listen. Y'all better go ahead and shout Michelle out in the comments. Y'all see that? Come on. Some of us out here with back pain because we was bending over backwards for far too long. Come on. Some of us dealing with neck pain because we always we always turning our head to go see what everybody else is doing. Michelle, we out here with pains, aches and pains that we ain't supposed to have because we paying attention to the wrong thing. No, endure for your race. That's like you saying, "Oh, I'm going to be in this. I'm going to be in a race," and they say, "Okay, great. What are you doing to build up your endurance?" "Oh, I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to go and do that." I'm asking you this morning, what will you do to build up your endurance? Come on, Tatrice, come on. What will you do to build up your endurance? So that way you can endure to the end. And remember, we said we're not enduring in pain. We enduring in peace. I'm going to smile my way to the finish line. I'm going to giggle my way to the finish line. I'm going to laugh my way. What are you doing to build up that endurance? Every day, not once a week. Some of y'all can't understand why it's so hard for you to live stream, but you only live stream once a week. That's not building endurance. I didn't get this comfortable in front of the camera by live streaming once. No, I literally, back in 2015 when I started live streaming, was live streaming every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. I built up the endurance. I built up the endurance. It was daily habits. The other part about building up your endurance is that I got to have the conversations about where I am as well as where I'm going. Okay, y'all, we well past our 30-minute mark, y'all. This is fitting to go. Folks is coming in. Listen. Come on, Michelle says, staying in my lane. It's a marathon. Come on, not worried. I will get there. Come on. Patrice said it. I'm going to smile my way to the finish line. I ain't got time for stress. I ain't got time for it. Listen, I got a few gray hairs. I'm okay with the few. I'm not fitting to have a whole head of it though. Y'all, we not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this because somebody may need this morning. I cannot eat off of the plate of favor, grace, and mercy if I'm eating off the plate of fear. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. I cannot eat off of the plate of favor, grace, and mercy if I'm eating off the plate of fear. Thank you, Tatrice. What plate are you eating from? What plate are you eating from? I can't eat from the plate of peace if I'm eating from the place of pain and stress. What plate are you eating from? Hmm. For a long time, I was eating from the wrong plate. And when I shifted, baby, I didn't have to always be the one to go and celebrate me. When I shifted, I didn't have to be the one to put everything out there because people saw my consistency. They saw my demeanor. They saw my smile. Listen, people saw me. And I didn't have to have on a mask. I didn't have to put on any facade. I could come and be me, 100% all me. And the opportunities just started coming. God opened doors that I never even knew were available to me. Come on. You better say that. Look, like oil and water. It don't mix. It don't mix. Come on. What plate are you eating from? Come on. And I can say for me, the shift happened the year that I prayed and said, God, I want you to be the CEO of my business. Yes. We got another congrats. So we already congratulated Michelle. She passed her real estate exam. But look at Joanna. Yes, my sis. I'm so proud of you, sis. Oh my goodness. She completed her transcript for her book. I am so proud of you. I am looking forward to that. You know, I want a signed copy. I don't want to buy a copy. I'm going to buy a copy online, but I want a signed copy. Okay. Yes. Um, when I literally put it back in God's hands, that is when the shift happened. This is what happened in a matter of a 4-month time frame. I said, God, I want to, um, God, I'm putting it back in your hands. God, where you lead, I follow. Okay. And whatever that really means, I'm here for it. I didn't know what that was going to mean. In 4 months' time from me saying that prayer, the business coach that I had was no longer I was no longer working for her. She was no longer my business coach. She blocked me. She had other people block me. Boom. I had someone else who is a man of faith. Um, who came and was a coach for me for a short period of time. And one of the prayers that he prayed for me, and one of the things that came, like literally was downloaded as he was talking to me, was he said, somebody keeps telling you 10x, 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 and God is saying, I can 60x it. Don't worry about what it is that they're saying. And when I took the focus on them, literally everything shifted in that 4 month time frame. I made the prayer in October. Him and I talked in January. Okay, so I'll say 5 to 6 months. By February, everything had literally shifted. And I was in a whirlwind. This was not a shift that happened where I was like, oh, look, butterflies and rainbows. Yay. This was a shift that happened where I was like, God, what did I do wrong? Please just tell me, God, what did I do? How do I fix this? What is going on? Do I need to apologize? Did I say something? Did I do something? God, literally, that shift took about $13,000 to $14,000 out of my business a year. That shift um, literally pulled me away from people that I valued. It pulled me away from people that I loved, people I had prayed for. You guys, like when I tell y'all, when we close, we close. I will call you and pray for you, pray with you on the phone. Like we close. I'm in your inbox stalking you, and you may hear from me every 6 months. You may hear from me every year, whatever. But you gonna hear from me. I'm going to check on you. These were people that I checked on. These were people that I prayed for. Gone. Oh yeah. And Johanna, she said it. Look, that's what happened to her when since she closed her boutique. And I'm telling you, it hurt like heck. I did not feel good. And if I did not let God lead in that moment, I would have been depressed. Because as somebody who is an introvert, I value the relationships that I built. I would have been depressed. I would have been depressed. And there's many other people that I've seen that have gone through that depression. Come on. Good morning, Donna. Hey, sis. Good morning. Literally, that's it. She said yes, and I was asked to host a platform, and I know God is opening doors that no man can shut. Come on. People look at me, and I literally, so one of the interviews that I just recently did with was with D Murph. He is former NBA player. He is the host of Flagrant 2, and I did the interview, and it went live like 2 weeks ago. Awesome person. Him and I met at SpeakerCon in 2019. And we met briefly, but I had him as a guest on my show. And then, of course, I just did his show. And he was just like, I see your dedication. I see what you're like. It's crazy. Like you're out here making moves. And I never had to go and put all of this stuff up on a billboard and say, look at me. And it's that season. I remember it so this is I remember it so well because in that season I was projecting being able to make 6 figures a year. And this is why I'm very transparent about this journey because people will have you hyped up on something that ain't is not there. But I had the projection of making 6 figures. I went and I said, okay, well, God, I got things I got to do, and this and that, and da, 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 da. And then all these things started shifting, and I was just like, okay. One of the things he had me sit down and look at and say, look at the money that you're putting out as well as the money that you're bringing in. And so that 13,000, 15,000, or whatever that I lost, guys, if y'all knew how much money I was putting out, I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. But I learned how to endure in that season because I was speaking on stages. I was paying to speak, I had to travel, pay to pay for my hotel, pay for food, and then also give 20% of my sales. And so what other people thought was just, they were like, "No, yeah, no, you could do this." I was speaking I was speaking on stages all over. I was traveling all over the US and doing all these events and paying for vendor tables and wasn't making sales and all paying for vendor tables and only selling like 2, 3 things. And if I had made what I projected to make at that time, God wouldn't have got the glory. Michelle said, I remember a coach told me that I was thinking small at the time. All I wanted to do was pay my bills. I didn't appreciate that at all, especially coming out of becoming and that was another thing. As so, I had someone say to me, and y'all know, I spill tea often. I don't drink coffee, but I spill it in such a way that it educates the people that I'm connected to. Um, I had somebody try to tell me that I should take out a loan to take one of their programs. Y'all, I am literally almost debt free. I have no credit cards. I have no big debt on my student loans are almost done. They would have been done last year, but the whole COVID thing happened. But yeah, I had someone tell me I had somebody tell me I should take out not a little loan. It wasn't a little loan, y'all. It wasn't like, ooh, take out $5,000, $500. No, we talk about $25,000. And then said, oh, but I'll give you a discount so it won't be that full amount. Yeah. But I'm almost debt free. And then even said to me, well, I know you just paid off your debt, but I think you should do this so that way you can get all of this stuff. Michelle said, girl, baby guts. Look, Johanna said, she said, I heard that. Yup. And so yeah, I went through a lot when that whole transition happened, when that whole shift happened, I had to heal. And the people that knew me, I just had one good girlfriend, who she was there through the whole process. And she was just like, she said, I feel like you're finally healed from all of that. Because you're no longer looking to do what they did, sound how they sounded, and you're not looking at you don't it even in how you present yourself and how you speak and how you connect with people, it's not the same anymore. You've moved past that. And here was one thing that hurt me the most, y'all. After everything was said and done and God showed me all of these different things, I said, God, how many people did I hurt by sending them there? That hurt more than anything else. And I think that was literally that was the nerve that the enemy danced upon. That was the nerve that the enemy danced upon, was that I felt bad afterwards because I said, how many people did I lead astray because of that? I said I can't do that no more. I couldn't. And I did. I went back, and there were some people that I had to go back and apologize to, and I did. I went back and apologized. Like, it was crazy. I had people who, after it was all said and done, they came back and apologized to me because they had walked away because of that whole situation, and they were just like, "Yeah, no, you didn't sound like you anymore." And I didn't even, again, nobody said it in the moment, but after it was all said and done and this whole healing process took place, people were just like, "Yeah, no, you didn't sound like yourself anymore, and you didn't have that same, zeal that you had, that same drive that you had when you would go live." I I thought I'm just out here, doing me, the regular me. Yeah, that's true too. And I think we found that out over the year. We especially found it out last year with everybody being home, because you saw what everybody had the same playing field. All the speakers were on the same playing field. Everybody was on Zoom or one of the other platforms. All of the coaches had the same playing field. All of this, everybody. So you got to see that some of the people that you looked up to, um, they may not have been in the position you really thought they was. Like, sometimes we put people on a pedestal. And for me, that was because I'm so, like, I'm real, like, close knit. Like, the circle is like, it was almost a dot for the longest time. When I did start letting people in, I was like, okay, cool. I'm building this up. I'm building that up. People, again, like I said, these are people that I was praying for, praying with. And all of that went down. And I was just like, oh, wow. But it also made me go back and say, can we really trust when somebody is saying they praying for us? That hurt too. Cause I'm like, I'm really out here, walking the floor on y'all behalf. Was y'all really out here walking the floor on mine? Maybe not. Maybe not. So I was just out here in these streets. Okay, cool. God had me covered, but I wish I would have known exactly who he was using to cover me. He had me covered, thankfully, in so many different ways. But yeah, I was like, it's a beautiful thing. When you're healed, when you are better and not bitter, man, I can laugh about things that I went through. I can talk about it. I can educate people on it. But the most valuable thing is, guys, like, I'm here today. I still have breath in my body. I still have air in my lungs. Listen, I am able to skateboard and laugh and giggle and do weird stuff if I want to. Like, I'm able to do all of those things. And I attribute that to God's love for me and his purpose. I attribute that to him taking over and me just saying, okay, God, whatever, come on. Come on. You better say it. Stepping stones. And I'm happy for the stepping stones. There was one point in my life where I would have said, "Oh my God, it's so horrible that people would do stuff like that. And they're so mean, and I wish nothing but the worst for them." I wish them nothing but the best. I will not. I will not take away the peace that I have by wishing somebody else harm. I wish them nothing but the best. I wish them six and seven figures. I wish them new clients in abundance. I wish them joy and health, good health, happiness. Even the people that have talked about me, that have blocked me, like I wish them nothing but the best. Because I eat from peace, grace, mercy, joy. I don't want the rest of that. I don't even want it on my table. They say, you know that you've forgiven someone when you can pray for them. If God drops their name in my spirit, I pray for them. Oh, I love you too, sis. Listen, Johanna knows I done been in her inbox. We done been on the phone together quite a few times. Um, but I I wish that people understood just what that feels like. Like we hold so much, like guys, we hold so much anger and pain. People walking around with ulcers and cancer and all of these different things. Like we literally just we lost Pastor C a few weeks ago. A good girlfriend of mine just had a surgery yesterday. And I'm like, we don't have that time to just go and be angry and frustrated. And it's not to say that we won't get mad. It's not to say that I don't get mad. I'm a single mother of four kids. If I don't get mad, then y'all may need to check on me. If I don't have any moments where I don't get mad, but I don't live in that moment. I take it to heart that God says, "Do not let the sun go down on your anger." Can't do it no more, y'all. It's cool though. I love it because I'm not. Other people may have that frustration and they tense up when people walk in the room. I ain't got time for that. Then I'm walking around with hurt shoulders and back because I'm good. I'm good. I'll just walk in with my joy. I'll stick with joy. I'll choose joy. Yeah, that part. I'm building up my endurance by eating from those plates, and the rest of them can't even be on my table. That part. So we didn't went over an hour, y'all. Y'all play too much. Y'all play way too much. We done went over an hour, y'all. This is well past 30 minutes. We supposed to do 30 minutes in the mornings. 30 minutes. But I'm glad that I was able to come and talk to you guys. Listen, endure to the end. Endure to the end. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What do you need to grab a hold of so that way you can endure to the end? Uh, and if you don't have it, go get it. Find it. Lock it up in your heart so that way you can definitely um we want to live our best life, y'all. Like I get it. I get it. Again, everybody wants to be able to pay bills. They want to be able to, eat. And um but I want to enjoy the life that I have. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to get to 70, 80, 90 years old and I'm like, oh, I sat at home a lot of times and I was scared to go places because I was scared of what they may say or do. I'm like, no. Mm, mm. Even to the point where people were like, oh, you're still doing speaking events during the pandemic? Mhm. And I show up in joy. I show up smiling and excited and happy. And people have been coming back that have been like following me or connected to me for years. And they're like, "Oh my goodness, you're still the same person. Like you're still this joyous person when you come on screen." Because that's you. It's a choice, y'all. It's a choice. We got a choice to make. Let's go. Mm. So I'm gonna go act like I gotta get all this stuff together. I got things to do. I got a podcast interview to record. Interview, a podcast episode. I'm doing a live podcast episode today, so I got a podcast episode to record. I have some reviews to do on Amazon. Yo, these Amazon videos have been crazy. Some interesting conversations happen on Amazon Live. I'm just saying. Uh, what else? And then I got some stuff to do in the biz. In the biz, and getting things in order. Come on, Michelle said it. Live and let live. Come on. Oh, look. And they will. Michelle said the kids thought it was random that she went out by herself. Um, Listen, going for a walk. That's just like for me. And I used to I am I would go with my sister and we would go to different places and walk and stuff. And the one place they're rebuilding it right now, so we can't go there. But they have this little really nice waterfall. And I would be like, I want to just go see the waterfall. Like I remember times where my aunt would say, "Come on, a let's go get a smoothie." And we would drive like 45 minutes to have it a Grace just to get one of their milkshakes or smoothies or whatever. It's just create the peace that you want to have. You can create it. You really can. I think about Daniel in the lion's den. While everybody else was going through all of that, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm still going to do me. I'm still going to pray. I'm going to do it. The window fitting to be open because y'all ain't gonna have me in this hot box. I'm still gonna pray. Come on. Hey, Nicole. Hi, sis. I'm still gonna pray. I'm still listen. David was not perfect, and David said, "I'm still gonna be a ruler. Still gonna be king. I'm gonna endure for this moment that I'm in. Here we are. Come on, let's go. You want to know about endurance? Ooh, read the story of Ruth. Because see, when we have endurance, it sets us up for something greater. Endurance is not going to look the same for everybody. It's not. Endurance sets us up for something greater. Look at Ruth. Come on. Oh, thank you. I know that's right, Michelle. Thank you, Nicole. Endurance sets us up for something greater. Because look at Ruth. Come on. Endurance set her up for her Boaz. Here's my thought. Here's my thing, and I'll leave you guys with this. What do you think the other daughter-in-law thought after she saw that Ruth got Boaz? Don't worry, I'll wait. What do you think the other daughter-in-law thought? What do you think went through her mind when she heard about Ruth and Boaz? Can I clue you into something? When you learn to endure, it's a setup. Hmm. Hmm. Right? Come on. Oh, thank you, Joanna. Thank you. Listen, when you learn to endure, it's a setup. So Ruth was learning to endure, and sometimes your endurance goes through some of your pain. It's in the midst of your grief. It's in the midst of the things that it's in the midst of you going into an unknown territory. It's in the midst of, but it's a setup. So if I choose, come on, if I choose to endure and build my endurance, God always going to set me up. He always going to set me up. Come on. And I could go deep. We're not going to do this today, y'all. It's almost an hour and a half. Oh my goodness. He will always set you up. And then there are the people that you thought were going to endure beside you. They're not always built for it. And that's okay. We do not look at them any differently. It's they could not endure it. They weren't built for that. But for the ones, and y'all, I catch this, when we learn to endure, when we learn to build our endurance and go the distance, then we not only do something for ourselves, we do something for someone else. Come on, we do something for someone else. Come on, come on. We put in ourselves in the position to be able, because her mother-in-law was blessed because of her endurance. There's somebody else that will be blessed because of your endurance. There's other people who are being blessed right now because of the endurance of you getting to this moment. Come on. Hmm. That's right. Everybody can't go where you're going, and it's all right. But and I take it fully, God, because of the endurance, it will bless somebody else. Come on. Because of my endurance, it will bless somebody else. Those attached to me will be blessed because of my endurance. Because I kept going when others stopped and went back. Come on, Nicole said it. Right now, some of us are building endurance because, come on, whoo, and not everybody's going to agree with our choice. Whew. But man, it's a setup. Y'all better come on this morning. Our trials and tribulations are not for us, but for others. We have to go through so we can help the next person. Y'all fitting to shut Facebook down. Okay. Listen, we done been on here almost an hour and a half. When I think about endurance, there are people in the Bible that I think about and I say, wow. When I think about Ruth, I think about endurance. When I think about David, I think about endurance. When I think about Daniel, I think about endurance. When I think about Moses, I think about endurance. When I think about Noah, I think about everybody who has done something of significance in the kingdom and for the kingdom. They had a different level of endurance. So much so. Y'all better catch it. When the rich young man came and asked, "What must I do to be saved?" He said, "Give it all away and follow me." He said, because do this, do that, give it all away and follow. He couldn't do it. That was a part of the endurance that he couldn't handle. Come on. Come on. Whew. We couldn't. He couldn't handle that level of endurance. It scared him. It's one thing to endure when you have. It's a whole nother other thing when you got to endure hiding in the cave. Oh, y'all better come on this morning. It's a whole other another thing when you have to endure by being called to a palace that you were called to, not invited to. Y'all better come on. It's a whole other thing to endure after losing everything you had. That's another level of endurance, and everybody ain't built for that for sure. Everybody ain't built for that for sure. Come on. They not. Come on. Nicole said we tell people to endure, but then they want to come on, boss you and when to endure. Come on. Come on. Hoo, 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 hoo. You see impossible, I see possible. Exactly. Come on. And we running around and again, the level of endurance is going to be different for every person. That's why I got to be focused. I can't focus on what everybody I got to endure this journey that I'm on. My level of endurance is going to be different. Yes, it's a whole other when Johanna, listen, when the storm came through and I talked to Johanna and I thought about, oh my goodness, that's a whole other level of endurance. When I've talked to friends and loved ones who have lost people, and that's a whole other level of endurance to go through. Women that have been through domestic violence, that's a whole other level of endurance to endure. Like that's a whole other level. And so I go and I go, wow, here's the thing. We've had so many people look at us and feel like that moment in time was a stumbling block. That moment in time was a disaster. It was a failure. So much so that we don't even see that it was a moment to build our endurance. Come on. Come on. We don't even see that it was a moment of endurance. And then afterwards, when we're able to look back at it, we're able to say, wow, God, you did that. Because other people wouldn't have been able to go through it. Exactly. He definitely knows what we can endure. Like he knows how far we can go. He knows he knows the true limits that we may have. We know the limits that we see or that we say we have. He knows the true limits. Come on. Hmm. Y'all, I'm going. I can't deal with y'all this morning. Y'all fitting. We about to have a whole revival on Facebook, y'all. I can't deal with y'all this morning. I cannot deal with y'all this morning. But you have to have that understanding, and it will not come overnight every time. It will take some time for you to really get a full understanding of what you've really been able to endure. That's where the conversation happen. That's where having a mentor happens, and people that you can truly count on to give you some true insight. Endure to the end. Come on. I always say, no other woman would have been able to endure my husband's personality too long, too strong. Come on. Oh yeah. And even when we look at our parents, like there's things that they endured that if we had the same situation, we may not have been able to endure it. We wouldn't have been able to endure it. There's things that we're going through that they looking at us like, I don't understand how y'all got all this going on. Come on. I don't know how y'all doing all that. Thank you, Jerry. Love you, sis. That's just like I I always I think about just literally just everything from one end to the next. And man, when I go back 10, 20 years, I go, wow, God, you did that. Cause there was some monkey wrenches in there, some brick walls, some craters I had to jump over, Grand Canyon, but he was there. Nicole said, I heard a message about revival. Maybe something isn't supposed to be revived. Ooh, maybe it's a new birth. Y'all not gonna have me. Listen, y'all you better come on, Nicole. You better preach this good word this morning. Y'all tearing these comments up today. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate you, Queen. I love you, sis. Listen, come on. She said, let's celebrate all that we have endured to make us who we are today. Come on, celebrate all of you. I know that's right. Celebrate all of you. All right, I really gotta go because I gotta get stuff done, y'all. It's like after 10 o'clock, I still gotta do my walk. We out here in these streets just tearing things up. I will say to you, endure to the end. Don't look at somebody else's endurance. Don't look at somebody else's journey. Look at yours. Focus on what you have already endured. Um, take that. Take that with you. Focus on what you've already done. Take that with you. Come on. Come on. Jerry said it. It was merely our backstory. Take that with you. Eat from the plate of peace, joy, mercy, grace, hope, and the plate, all them other plates, don't even allow them to have space on your table. Hmm. Come on. You said you almost done? Yeah, I'm gonna go get mine done. Now I feel bad. I'm gonna go get mine done. I really am. Blessings to all of you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing it out, for being a part of the conversation this morning. I will see you guys back tomorrow. Uh y'all, we got great things happening. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm looking forward to seeing how you endure and being one of the cheerleaders on the sideline as you pass this finish line that you are about to pass. You guys know we're currently doing 4 goals for months. At the end of this month, I'll be doing a live stream on the band app, in the Your Voices group, and um, we gonna get this thing done. 4 goals, 4 months. So whatever goal you have this month, be on the lookout for the information for that live stream on the band app. You guys have a great rest of your day. And until next time, don't forget to press it out. That's right. Come on, cheer for yourself too. I love it.